So my name is Sara. I go by Misconception. Live in Kansas City. Grew up in Kansas City suburbs. Went to KU. Got a journalism degree. Now I work at a synagogue part-time. And I'm working on my career as a hip-hop artist and spoken word lyricist. Well, when I write, it's not like I can sit down to write a poem or a song. A lot of times what happens is I'll be in a bar listening to music or out with some people, and a line just hits me, and I carry a notepad and pens with me and just gotta write it down right then, because if not, you lose it. I'm constantly texting things to myself just so I can remember. The worst is when you're driving down the road and you get this great line and you're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I'm on the highway. But so that's kind of where it starts. I've woken up from sleeping and had lines in my head and just scribbled them down, and then eventually at some point I sit down and put them all on my computer. I have the worst handwriting ever, so I type everything. I put it all on my computer. It's a lot of rearranging and editing, and hopefully by the time I get a song or a piece done, I have it memorized, because I'm usually working on it for months before I actually like what I've written. As for my content, my biggest line is from Gandhi. It's be the change you wish to see, and I don't want to be wasting my energy putting out negative influences or bitching about my life and how awful it is, or what I don't like about the government or my neighbors. I want to see people start to respect each other and say, just because this is who you are doesn't mean that I can't love you still. I meet people all the time and I love them all until someone gives me a reason to not love them, right? Because how else are we going to learn to get along in our government if we can't get along in our streets? So a lot of my material is about planting seeds or pushing the boundaries, breaking down all these stereotypes, and really putting yourself into what you do and not being afraid to be yourself. Yeah, so many times I have different versions of the same piece. I have a spoken word slam poetry version, and then I'll take the same kind of message and theme and transfer it over to something that I can put to music that has a chorus maybe, because it's really hard to do one at the other and be effective. And yeah, but a lot of times I forgot what I was saying. What was the question again?
So you get hit from different environments. So for example, you might, like you say, you're at a club or you're listening to music and you get inspired to do it. Mm-hmm. You could be sitting on a bus and inspired to do it. You could be sitting in a cafe, you could be sitting in the bathroom. Yeah. It doesn't matter. So what you're saying is that when things hit you, it kind of comes subconsciously?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely comes from something bigger than me, and I have such a strong connection to this God-in character that we have, twisted around. But a lot of times when I write, I leave room so that I can tailor it to where I am and what day of the week it is and what kind of people are in the room, and even what some character is. I try and leave space so that I'm not good at freestyle. I can't just off the top of my head spit something out and have it sound good and conscious and make it work all the time. Those moments are very rare. But I can, tailor my material to my environment so that it engages people more and lets people know that I'm speaking to them. I'm not just going through lines rehearsed so that I can make money, because there's not a lot of money in this right now. So much of my inspiration comes when I least expect it, out of nowhere, and it's great to be receptive to that and to jot it down and put it away, but there does come a time when I kind of have to shut off from the rest of the world and focus on editing and also on memorizing. For me, that's the hardest part about all of this, is being able to remember the order of the words and make the rhythm right and make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. This is my stack of papers right now that I'm trying to memorize so that I can perform it, and I've got probably twice as much of this, plus new things that I'm working on. It's just a matter of getting them in the right order. Sometimes they're not finished. I'm trying to memorize it, and this just doesn't sound right, and that's definitely a challenge to make it comprehensible.
And would you associate not so much memorizing words, but memorizing a feeling that can be projected.
Yeah, and just, when I get the words in the right order that they're supposed to be in, I don't have to try and memorize it. It just is there. It just makes sense. It's like the way it's supposed to be. Sometimes lines come to me that way. Other times I take a line that came to me that way and I build around it, and that's the part that takes a lot more work to make it memorizable or memorable for anybody, right? So, yeah, it's fun. So this piece, I kind of wrote by accident by looking at my iTunes, and I was trying to come up with a transition piece about music, and so this is what came out of it, and pay attention. Okay. Mamas and papas of this 3-dog night. It's early November, but my third eye has gone blind. So for all you blues travelers caught in bad company, well, now is the time to rage against the machine. For something corporate from flaming lips has turned collective souls into spin doctors, heard all the way from Boston to Buffalo. Springfield is just another city how to go. Yo, I may be from KC, but the Sunshine Police are poisoning a system of down release. In Chicago, bare naked ladies are caught teasing Beach Boys with blind melons, Jurassically pleasing 5 new kids on the block on to show new radicals acting all better than Ezra. You want mo? So as Beastie Boys and Indigo Girls, I challenge you all in this Jimmy Eat world to find the starting line of Lifehouse roots. Beckon you too, let's all share our tools with a little special sauce and some G-love. Destination ears to whatever's above. Even if it's just Metallica starships overhead, we are all of a revolution until gratefully dead.